overseas migration for the March quarter was just over 110,000. That's 1,223 arrivals each and every day between the start of the year and the end of March. And today we find out that nearly 1/4 of retirees could be renters within the next 2 decades, as entire generations locked out of home ownership transition out of the workforce and directly into poverty.
Yeah, I think everyday Australians have really had a gutful of essentially paying more and more tax to accommodate people from overseas.
Have you felt it? That feeling that your country is slipping away? That the roads are more crowded, the hospitals are more full, and the dream of owning your own home is becoming a cruel joke? You're not imagining it, and you're not alone. Because while you've been working hard, paying your taxes and playing by the rules, the government has been running a secret social experiment. An experiment to see just how many people they can cram into this country before it breaks. And the results are in. We're at breaking point. They'll tell you it's under control. They'll tell you the numbers are coming down. They'll tell you it's good for the economy. But today, we're going to expose the lies. We're going to show you the real numbers, the real impact, and the real reason why the political class is addicted to a big Australia that is making you poorer, your life harder, and your future more uncertain. This isn't about race. This is about space. It's about resources. And it's about a government that has betrayed its own people. And if you're one of the millions of Australians who are sick of being ignored, who are tired of being told that your concerns are racist or xenophobic, then you need to join our movement. Our Patreon is the front line in the fight against the establishment lies. It's how we fund this research, it's how we stay independent, and it's how we give a voice to the silent majority. The link is in the description. It's time to make them listen. So, what are the real numbers? Well, that depends on who you ask and what they're trying to sell you. The government and their mates in the media will tell you that migration is trending lower. They'll point to the net overseas migration figures and say, see, it's down from the peak. And they're right. It is down from the insane record-breaking peak of over 550,000 in September 2023. But that's like saying a bushfire is trending lower because it's only burning down 100 homes a day instead of 200. It's still a disaster. Here are the numbers they don't want you to focus on. According to the Institute of Public Affairs, net permanent and long-term arrivals in the 12 months to May 2025 was still a staggering 447,620. That's the second highest on record. We are still adding a city the size of Canberra to our population every single year. And the government's own budget projections for this financial year have already been blown out of the water. They play a shell game with the statistics. They use different metrics, different time periods, and different definitions to confuse and mislead you. They'll talk about net overseas migration when it suits them, and permanent and long-term arrivals when it doesn't. It's a deliberate strategy of deception designed to hide one simple fact. They have lost control of our borders and they have no idea how to fix it. And here's the most outrageous part. We're adding 1,223 people every single day. That's a new person arriving in Australia every 70 seconds. By the time you finish watching this video, another 20 people will have arrived. And where are they going to live? Where are they going to work? Where are their kids going to go to school? The government has no answers. The Treasury says migration will naturally drop to pre-pandemic levels of around 230,000 a year. But they've been wrong about every single projection so far. They projected 335,000 for this financial year, and they've already exceeded that with 2 months still to come. These aren't projections, they're fantasies. So why are they doing it? Why this addiction to a big Australia? They'll tell you it's for the economy. They'll say that we need more people to grow the economic pie, but what they don't tell you is that while the pie might be getting bigger, your slice is getting smaller. It's called a per capita recession. And we're in one right now. For 9 of the last 11 quarters under this government, our economy has gone backwards for every single person in this country. Your individual wealth, your standard of living is declining. And it's a direct result of this reckless, unplanned mass migration.
I accept that not everybody can be a homeowner, but 1 in 4 retirees renting, that's something that maybe Bevan Shields might want to
Think about it. The government can boast about economic growth because they're just adding more people. It's the laziest form of economic management imaginable. Instead of making our country more productive, more innovative, and more efficient, they're just cramming more people in to buy more stuff. It's a Ponzi scheme and it's collapsing under its own weight. And who pays the price? You do. You pay it in higher house prices, you pay it in higher rents, you pay it in congested roads, crowded hospitals, and overflowing schools. You pay it in a diminished quality of life. Also, the government can pretend that the economy is growing while your personal economy is going down the toilet. Let me put this in perspective for you. Australia's population has grown by 83% due to overseas migration in recent years. That means for every 5 new people in this country, 4 of them came from overseas. But our housing stock hasn't grown by 83%. Our hospitals haven't grown by 83%. The result? Competition for everything. Competition for houses, jobs and services that your taxes are supposed to pay for. And here's the cruel irony. The unemployment rate is sitting at 4.2%. And the government says this proves the labour market is comfortably accommodating the migration surge. But what they don't tell you is that wages are stagnating, productivity is falling, and the only reason unemployment isn't higher is because they're creating low-skilled, low-wage jobs to service all these new arrivals. It's a race to the bottom, and you're the one being asked to run it. And it's not just your wallet that's feeling the strain. It's the very fabric of our society. Our infrastructure is crumbling. Our cities are bursting at the seams. And our governments have no plan to deal with it. Former New South Wales Police Minister David Elliott has warned that our public infrastructure, including police and prisons, is going backwards.
Well, I can tell you that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money forfeited from rank and file police officers. That's a lot of money forfeited from upgrading facilities. That's a lot of money forfeited, taken away from new resources and air wing and of course all the other things that we need to run an effective, modern, democratic police force. So
we are not building enough to keep up with the current population, let alone the hundreds of thousands of new arrivals every year. We are in a housing crisis, a rental crisis, a hospital crisis, and a school crisis. And every single one of these crises is being made worse by the government's out-of-control migration program. They'll tell you they're building more houses, but they're not. They'll tell you they're investing in infrastructure, but they're not. They are so far behind the curve that they will never catch up. And the result is a future where our children will be locked out of the housing market, where a quarter of our retirees will be renters, and where the Australian dream of a home and a backyard will be nothing more than a distant memory. This isn't an accident. It's a choice by the political class to prioritise the quantity of people over the quality of life, a choice to sacrifice your future for their political convenience. And the numbers are staggering. We need to build 240,000 new homes every year just to keep up with current demand. But we're only building about 180,000. That's a shortfall of 60,000 homes every single year. And that's before we add another 400,000 people through migration. It's mathematical madness. The same story plays out across every piece of infrastructure. Our hospitals are at breaking point. Our schools are overcrowded. Our roads are gridlocked. And every single one of these problems is being made worse by the government's refusal to match population growth with infrastructure investment. They'll promise you new hospitals, new schools, new roads. But they never deliver. The scale of the challenge is too big and the political will is too weak. So they just keep adding more people and hope that somehow magically the infrastructure will catch up. It won't. So why isn't this the biggest issue in Australian politics? Why is it that whenever you raise these concerns, you're shut down, you're called a racist, you're told you're being divisive? It's because the political class is terrified of having an honest conversation about immigration. They're terrified because they know that the majority of Australians agree with you. A Lowy Institute poll found that over half the population, 53%, say that our immigration rate is too high. And that number is growing every year. But the government doesn't want to listen. They'd rather brand you as a bigot than admit that their policies have failed. They'll tell you that immigration is what makes Australia great. And they're right. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation that is supposed to be built on a fair go. And there is nothing fair about a system that puts the interests of new arrivals ahead of the interests of the people who are already here. This isn't about shutting the door. It's about taking a breath. It's about pausing this out-of-control experiment and having a sensible, mature conversation about what kind of country we want to be. A country that is bigger or a country that is better? A country that is more crowded or a country that is more prosperous? A country that serves the interests of the political class or a country that serves the interests of its own people? The Labor Party sees high migration as a political vote winner. They believe that every new arrival is a potential Labor voter. It's cynical, it's calculated, and it's destroying the country. They're literally importing their own electoral success at the expense of the people who are already here. And the media is complicit. They'll call you a racist for asking basic questions about sustainability. They'll dismiss legitimate concerns as Trumpian tactics. It's a coordinated campaign to shut down debate and make you feel guilty for caring about your own country. But the truth is starting to break through. Even former immigration department officials like Abel Rizvi are calling for open, honest, and transparent discussion. The facade is cracking. The lies are being exposed, and the Australian people are waking up to what's been done to them. This is the conversation they don't want to have. But it's a conversation we must have. We cannot allow them to continue to ignore the will of the people. We cannot allow them to continue to sacrifice our quality of life for their political games. It's time to demand a government that puts Australians first. A government that has a plan for our future, not just a plan to import more people. A government that is honest about the challenges we face, not one that hides behind a wall of spin and deception. Share this video, talk to your friends and family, and let the political class know that the great Australian silence is over. We will not be ignored any longer. To see the latest Australian crisis, click this video here.